There'll be foxgloves, wax foxgloves and bluebells, a bramble thicket with the wax leaves, and so forth. Now this is one scratching itself, you see. One scratching itself, you see. This hole here, I'll just get inside, and there's a badger set here with a hole.
Oh yeah!
There's two tunnels. There's a tunnel going down that way, a tunnel going down this way. This tunnel actually goes down into a nesting chamber, so in fact it shows above the ground and below the ground. I want it to be as perfect as possible to create this natural habitat group, perfect as possible, above the ground and below the ground. I want to bring nature closer to the public.
Ain't nobody stopping me.
P-R-U-D-L-E. 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 And it talks on the phone. The world's top talking phone.
So much about you. I love you. Look at everything I've done for you. You'd be nothing without me. Why don't you answer me? I bet you're busy talking to some fucking slut. Fucking skank. Is she hotter than me? Would you fuck me? Are you gay?
Well, we'll send one of our best parrot photographers, Betty. How's that? Well, I suppose you can always challenge somebody's parrot as to whether it's the best telephone talker or not. Anyway, it's a good talking point, as you say.
It's a boon. You can see who's coming up into your grounds, you know. And I think it will stop a lot of vandalism too. Oh, I think you feel safer, really. We are locked in, that's true, but it's not. I don't think it's as bad as before the doors were put on. We had squatters coming in and taking over down below, you know, making a filthy mess of it.
You blocked me on Facebook, and now you're going to die. Now you're going to die.
I think it represents a whole trend to use technology in a way which threatens the citizen's right to privacy, the right to lead his own life without people spying through his window with a cine camera.
But then there is an argument that the film can't lie.
Well, the film can lie very easily. The insurance company or the investigator can edit the film. Supposing somebody has a bad limp, which occurs on wet days, or it's a nervous spasm which comes some days and not others. The film comes in court, the film is shown only the good days when there's no limp.
die.
Is this really a child's bedroom?
Yeah, this is Peter's bedroom.
I mean, there can't be a child in England who sleeps in a room so cold and so miserable as this, if you don't mind me saying so.
Our bedroom's the same though.
Now you're going to die.
Well, this is actually a ferret, and to get over this point that there's a connection between ferret and man, I mounted this ferret showing the hand. And of course, it's even got a watch on, look. Gold-plated watch. I've got this habit, a nasty habit of stroking these animals, but yes, it's very, very good. And especially
you call it a nasty habit?
Well, I suppose it's it. Well, I don't know. When I pick up a stuffed animal, I always sort of touch it and feel it, you see. I can't help it.
Que tiemble el Estado, los cielos, las calles, que teman los jueces y los judiciales. Hoy a las mujeres nos quitan la calma, nos sembraron miedo, nos crecieron alas. A cada minuto de cada semana nos roban amigas, nos matan hermanas, destrozan sus cuerpos, las desaparecen. No olviden sus nombres, por favor, señor presidente.
Por todas las compas marchando en Reforma, por todas las morras peleando en Sonora, por las comandantas luchando por Chiapas, por todas las madres buscando a Tijuana. Cantamos sin miedo, pedimos justicia, gritamos por cada desaparecida. Que retumbe fuerte, nos queremos vivas, que caiga con fuerza el feminicida.
Yo todo lo incendio, yo todo lo rompo. Si un día algún fulano te apaga los ojos, ya nada me calla, ya todo me sobra. Si tocan a una, respondemos todas. Soy Claudia, soy Esther y soy Teresa. Soy Ingrid, soy Fabiola y soy Valeria. Soy la niña que subiste por la fuerza, con fuerza, el feminicida.
Guns, having some fun. Crazy ladies keep them on the run. Wise guys realize there's danger in emotional ties. See me single and free, no fears, no tears. What I want to be. 1, 2, take a look at you. Death by matrimony.
Amazing, it's amazing to get a reaction like that. Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, we're starting to get used to it. We're starting to expect it, really. But it's fantastic. It still doesn't make any sense, really. Keep getting bombarded with, bangles. We got bombarded. Did you see the garter? Did you get the garter? Lovely red and black garter. I was wearing necklace the other night. Did you see them? But it's great. I mean, I love it.
Would you rather be doing anything else right now?
No, not right now. What's it, Saturday night? Down the palace or something? Not really.
If you're happy with a nappy, then you're in for fun. But you're there's guys like you just everywhere. And looking back on the good old days, well, this young gun says portion pays.
It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark.
various people high in the government and the royal household became very worried indeed about the possibility of the news getting out that the heir presumptive to the throne of England had married and had a child, that the child had been born of a Catholic mother. You have to remember it was a time when the possibility of revolution was thought to be a very real one, and that the problems and violence surrounding Ireland were at their height. It was decided that Mary Jane Kelly would have to be silenced. She was killed as the last of 5 women in a way that made it look like the random work of a madman. The child, however, survived. She was protected by Walter Sickert and had 2 sons by him. The first one was Charles, who disappeared at the age of 2, and I am the other son.
The name of the shop is Lapel, and we was in Italy one day, me and my brother, and we were sitting over a table having a glass of wine, trying to think of a name, so we just thought of lapel of a jacket, the collar of a jacket, so we just called it Lapel, but made it look a bit foreign. We stock Manuel Ritz Peepo, Cerruti shirts, Reporter jumpers, Adolfo jumpers, Chagall, the famous painter. Well, the Chagall shirts are going for $39.95. Reporter jumpers, £95. Cerruti shirts are £40. People don't really like personal service. They just like to be left alone. And if they need any help, they ask us rather than us jumping on them when they come into the shop. Majority of them are locals, and like we get a lot of people coming in from Kent or North London. Well, we get a lot of villains in.
They're villains.
Well, you know, we know them, but you don't ask where they get their money from, so...
You sort of spot them?
Probably can, yeah. Well, I can, I don't know about you.
Sir Henry Leach, I think, who was the first Lord of the Admiralty, who said to her, "Well, Prime Minister, I can only tell you, if you don't do it, this country will never be quite the same country again. And that went right like an arrow through her.
How many times have you had sex? Have you had sex regularly with somebody? With your boyfriend?
Yeah.
When was the last time?
I have been married, yes.
Yeah. When was the last time?
Last weekend.
Have you got any history of any sort of, you've been places like...
Yeah.
What, as a voluntary patient?
Yeah.
And how long were you there?
2 months, and then 4 months before that.
And what did you go in there for then?
I had a mental breakdown over my divorce.
Did you? Yeah. Well, you realise, of course, don't you, that if we take this, if we deal with this as a rape, then you're going to have a hell of a load of barriers and questions put to you in the Crown Court, because it will go to Crown Court, you know that. You're going to have the defence solicitor getting up and ask you all the types of personal questions that I've just asked you. And, if it's not true what you're telling us, then, it's going to look a bit difficult for you, isn't it?
What are you trying to say? I wasn't raped?
No, well, there's a possibility. People come into the police station and they say all sorts of things. They make up all sorts of stories.
You couldn't make up a story like that, I tell you.
People do, for lots of reasons. For lots of reasons.
If I just wanted a good time, I'd go out with my boyfriend and have it, wouldn't I?
What you're telling us, is it the truth?
Of course it is. I wouldn't be here now, would I?
Well, I don't know. There might be an ulterior motive for it. Might be a reason for it. There might be a reason for you being here. I don't know. Invariably, it might be a psychiatric reason. Is it the truth?
You got your trousers down for? Why have you got your trousers down? Talk with us. Do you know kids play here during the day?
Is there a bad luck?
Yeah, all these durates lying around. It's not very nice for them.
Well, we didn't tell you to come out here. Where else are we supposed to do it?
Can you give us a few words, please, Governor, before you go? Hang on. Listen dear, what sort of relationship do you have with the police around here?
I've had a policeman ask me for business, you know.
And what happened? Did he want to pay?
No, he didn't want to pay. He says he's going to nick me otherwise. I says, nick me then, but you're not having it free.
Well, now there's a whole new element of sort of economic activity which has come to be known as the mauve economy. This is because it's not quite a black economy. We don't know whether or not people actually pay taxes. We don't go into that. And it's also a slightly frivolous thing. These are all the sort of leisure industries and personal services that we didn't really know we wanted. And it's, in many ways, it's a vanguard for the future, because in the future, we're told, people aren't going to be making things, they're going to be producing services for other people. And we're not very good at this. We don't really know what we want in the way of services. So all sorts of original ideas are being produced by people. One of the most popular one of these new leisure industries seems to be singing telegrams.
just really basically implied that I was a tart. My family and my friends and everyone were really upset by it all. They couldn't believe it. They knew it wasn't true.
What effect did it have on your career?
My career was it was terrible. Bookings were dropping, people were cancelling. Everything was awful. Just really basically implied that I was a tart. I can't describe how awful it was.
First of all, we've got a wonderful candidate. Everybody agrees that Tony Blair's one of the very best possible candidates there could be. Everywhere he goes, I think he spreads interest, excitement and enthusiasm about the Labour Party, and that's the kind of candidate we want. We're very proud of him indeed, and we're very proud of everything he's been saying here. And whatever the result, we believe that he's going to have a very big future in British politics.
But the British are out of credit, and it can be avoided. What? But I should not be doing my duty if I didn't warn you in the simplest and clearest terms that for all our efforts, a negotiated settlement may prove to be unattainable. It would be only too easy a ploy for the Argentinians to say, don't have any military action while we negotiate. They would be quietly in their bases on land, while we should be tossed about the South Atlantic in those intemperate seas. We're not going to fall for that one.
Listen to me. I've been sitting here 20 minutes, half an hour listening to you. Some of it's the biggest lot of bollocks I've ever heard. I can get very annoyed very shortly. 1 minute you're saying it's Coley, next minute you're saying it's the Midway.
You passed Coley Park.
What happened? I'm sick and tired of the ups and downs and the ins and outs. Some of this is better fairy tales than bloody Gretel can do. Bloody Gretel can do. Now stop mucking us all about.
I'm not mucking you about.
I'm not saying to you as you're lying. Get rid of the fruitiness, get rid of all the beauty about it, and let's get down to facts and figures.
Well, is it?
Well, some of it is all this crap about bus stops and numbers and blue and white tea towels to wipe myself down with. What the hell's gone on? If nothing's gone on, let's all pack it off and go home. If something's gone on and you think, well, that's an experience, that's life, all right. This is the biggest bollocks I've ever heard.
I will agree that maybe you've had sex this afternoon, and it's not with your boyfriend. But I'll go as far as to say, I think that you've been a willing party to it. No, seriously. You're not upset by it. You haven't taken the blind bit of notice of anything that's gone on. The story you've told us is, like my colleagues, a fairy tale.
This is what a timpani drum sounds like. But now, cock in ear to this. Cock, it's a synthesizer too. and this is what it sounds like.
You're a cock, you're a cock, you're a cock.
And the reason it can create that sound so perfectly is because it's hooked onto a computer, which has mathematically worked out the incredible complexity of the sound wave that a timpani makes. And that's just the beginning. Because now that the computer knows the basic sound of a timpani, or whatever, it can change the pitch too. Listen. And even go up octaves, or whatever. Remember those champing feet and creaking doors? And remember, those aren't recordings. These are electronically created sounds.
We're at the start of a new era in recording because you have a guy playing a bass guitar. It's not necessary that he plays the bass guitar. We can do anything with sound.
You do anything with sound?
Yes, we can do anything with sound. We can do anything. We can do anything
with sound.
Yes. Anything.
मेरे सपने हैं जिंदा यहीं मुझे पिंजरा न दिखाओ मैं परिंदा नहीं मुझे कहने दे तुझको मेरी कसम
मैं एक डिस्को तू एक डिस्को दुनिया है एक डिस्को डिस्को एटिट्यूड ला 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 पानी सा नी सा रे सा नी सा पा पानी रे रामा रामा रामा
मेरी खुशियाँ मेरे सपने हैं जिंदा यहीं मुझे पिंजरा न दिखाओ मैं परिंदा नहीं मेरी खुशियाँ मेरे सपने हैं जिंदा यहीं मुझे पिंजरा न दिखाओ
What do you think of Mrs. Thatcher?
Marvellous! Best man in England. The only leader that can bring us back to normality in this country.
We need a firm and determined leader like Mrs. Thatcher to take our country back to an era where we all, you and I, we held our heads high as British.
We, the British people, are proud of what has been done. Proud of these heroic pages in our island story. Proud to be here today to salute the task force.
इल्जाम है कोई जहर तो नहीं इसे पी के गुनगुनाऊं तू खफा तो नहीं मुझे जीने दे तुझको मेरी कसम.
She reconstructed from Churchill, or from her understanding of Churchill, a whole sense of a separate British identity that was not collectivist but individualist. And this is what she thought he believed in. Not wholly inaccurately, but perhaps a little fancifully. And that's what you and I, live with now. We're living in her version of Churchill's version of British history. But it's a dream. Of course. All dreams are in some sense, remember your Freud, reality.
Our history is special in as much that everyone's tried to give us a good heighten since the year dot. The Romans failed, I think, really miserably. They didn't really succeed in conquering the whole of England.
We don't accept shot specimens. These are all animals that have died through natural causes. So the ermine's boot. Now, it's still got frost on his nose, but that shows a stoat that has changed to this winter coloration. We've got a small tiger cub.
In that freezer?
The tiger cub's right down the bottom. You know. Shall I delve into the bottom for it?
Why not? Yes.
Alright, here we go. I'm gonna get this basket out. On there. Tawny owl. Tiger cub, there it is. I'll get him out for you, shall I?
Yeah.
But this is a zoo specimen. We do have zoo specimens come in, and that's a little tiger cub. And he died through feline enteritis, unfortunately. Now, we hate to see dead things. My job is actually to try to restore the thing back to life, as you might say.
There's nothing I can do. I can just... It is doing it, and it is controlling me. And then I continued down, and this terrible fear that I was going somewhere, and I was going there on my own, that there was nothing I could do to stop myself going there. There was nothing I could do to bring myself back into the real world. That I was going there on my own, and once that happens, then this sort of everything becomes wavy, and the whole picture sort of like a television set going off, and then I wake up.
The subject that we are going to talk about is pop scene, and one example of this is the banning of Frankie Goes to Hollywood. The public and the radio have banned the song because it is quite absurd within the words. This still has not stopped it from being #1, but the viewers would still like to see it on top of the pops if just for their video.
I think music today is absolutely rubbish. On top of the pops, the DJs only play the music that they like. Most issues of the charts are fairly good, but they never play the music that we all like. People just get the wrong idea about the music. If they don't like a certain record that has been banned, then they should turn off their TV sets. Also, I think the government should legalise cannabis.
Afterwards seemed very disturbed and upset, and we went for a drive up the hill, which is nearby. We went on to Cleve Hill, and he stopped the car, blocked and stopped the car and just said to me, I'm the man that they were talking about this afternoon. I'm the man that they want. And I just went into complete shock and unbelief and numbness and had no real reaction at all. I just couldn't believe it. And I think he was a bit upset about that because he really wanted a reaction. He said, why don't you scream or shout or do something, you know? I couldn't. And I said to him, well, you know, is there anything else? I mean, I think we better, you're obviously going to go away. So is there anything else that you need to tell me now? Is there anything else at all? And he said, yes, there is. I have also been involved in spying. And, well, there again, you know, a double confession. I mean, I just didn't believe that either. Although in a funny sort of way, I could cope with that easier than the other revelation.
It's just that every time you mess it up like that, I see myself in you. I've been there too. And there's so many times I stand beside and see what you are going through, where you headed to. Stand by.
And he eventually went up to bed, and I just sat down and had some drink, which I don't normally do, but I had quite a lot of drink. I just didn't know what to do. I was desperate. And eventually I went to bed, and I waited really till he'd gone to sleep, and I just lay there most of the night just looking at him and just in unbelief, you know, seeing the man that I loved and the man that I'd married and the man that I thought he was, or knew him to be really deep down, and yet this other man, these other men that was all part of him, and I just, you know, it was just an amazing night. I can't really put it into words how I felt about that.
Getting burned. And burn, girl.
Get on. Oh, you Arlo! Leave it out! Just leave it out, right? We're all skinheads, we're not going to fight fucking anybody else but skinheads, right? We're not going to fight skinheads, right? Just leave it out! You fucking wanker! Ow! Darren! Skinheads! Oi, stick together! Fuck the difference, we're all skinheads. Yeah, we're all fucking skinheads, so don't fight each other! That's right! We're all single stands. Bad enough everybody else against us, let alone skinheads versus skinheads. That's fucking toxic, right? Skinheads stick together! Listen, 1-8, we're all white, okay? Oh, you Arlo! Leave it out!
To leave, and the Prime Minister saying well done, and out he goes, and he's going to be greeted by a most ferocious battery of cameramen and lights as he goes down. Willie Whitelaw hitting him on the shoulder, Nigel Lawson patting him on the back. They're all frightfully relieved it's gone well. There she is, Anne Parkinson in a blue dress, followed by her husband. They're going to have got to fight their way through a mob somehow. Everyone's patting him on the back.
I get an undertaking, I make no further comment. I've kept it. Other people can answer for their own behaviour.
You mean you're surprised that Miss Keyes
I
made
have
the
no
statement?
further comment.
Well, I think, first of all, that Sarah Keyes is somewhat hypocritical because she, after all, is the woman who sold her story to the very paper that she complained against, the Daily Mirror. And full details of her intimate life were described in this book, and it was serialized at the time to do most damage to Cecil Parkinson and the Tory party at their annual conference.
Sarah, this is a fair comment, isn't it? You did sell your memoirs.
If a newspaper or a television program says something about you which is blatantly untrue, and if they have decided to take a hostile attitude towards you, and you have no other means of defending yourself, you have to do what I did, which is to publish your own account of what happened, to give the facts. And after all, it was only when I wrote my book that the facts were made public.
David Montgomery.
And hitherto, no, let me finish, because David Montgomery said that I was hypocritical. He is the hypocrite. His newspaper group had offered me £250,000 for my story in 1983. And when news came out that I had written a book, they were the first to bid for serialization. But when they didn't get serialization of my book, then they started to do their hatchet job on me. They talked about me as being vengeful and vindictive and publishing pillow talk. There was no pillow talk in my book. My book was a defense of my reputation. How is it that the editor of the News of the World, who said last night that he only prints the truth, if he maligns somebody, if he destroys their reputation, how is it he can say that he has the right to express his opinion, but that person has no right of reply?
For instance, a policeman who has a sticky case, maybe, he will stand up in court and he will make it apparent that he is a Mason.
Well, how's he going to make it apparent?
Well, he can make a mistake, for instance, in the swearing of the oath. He can say, I swear by the great I'm sorry, my lord, I swear by Almighty God. Or he can, when he's holding the Bible, he can move it as he's speaking in the shape of a square. And this happens frequently.
But a judge, even if the judge is a Mason, is going to put justice first before brotherhood, isn't he?
On most occasions, yes, but the simple fact is that it has happened that in recent times, on several occasions, the judge hasn't done that. It is very difficult to know who is and who isn't a Freemason.
Well, Nigel Farrell was reporting then, as you can see. Dame Edna Everidge is our guest of the day, rustling through the newspapers. Dame Edna, do you know, Katie and Alan Drage of Great Missenden have rung in to say...
Hello, Katie. Hello, Alan.
They really enjoy you, and their daughter's first birthday is today, and she's watching with them.
Is she? What's her name?
I don't know, they don't say, which is a pity.
I was very interested, weren't you, though? Old folks and all those watching. To see the little chappie who's launching his book, what was it called again about the Freemasons?
The Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood. I did. But it's spooky, isn't it, the Freemasons? It intrigues us a little bit. Because we live, don't we, in a world of disclosure. Now, you live in a modern world where even a megastar is filmed in bed at breakfast.
Baby, make your move. Step across the line. Touch me one more time. Come on, dare me. I wanna take you on. I know I can't lose. And I'll be loving you if you just dare me. Looks like you're looking for trouble, and I'd say you found it.
by implication, you are saying that there is some sinister organisation which is in cahoots with the RUC. And I can tell you quite definitely, I've no evidence of this. Nobody has come to me and said Mr. A or Mr. B is using his Freemasonry to block the Stalker inquiry to have Stalker taken off the RUC.
The first time we see an abnormal area of what we call low attenuation blackness, as it's expressed on this particular way of viewing. These are going in centimetre slices up to the top of the head. Yes, in fact, it's almost reached the top.
As we move upwards, the scans reveal the shadow growing. And at the very top of Stephen's head, a clearly defined lesion appears.
The lesion itself is still circumscribed at the front end of the left frontal fold.
Sure, a lot of people base their information today on what they see on television and read in the newspapers as if they were the gospel. But they're not, are they? I mean, you know better than I what can be done on television and what's said in the newspapers. I mean, they often get things the wrong way around. An awful lot of people are brainwashed these days by television. I mean, it's awfully difficult to dive into what the motivations are that lie behind it. How do we know the truth?
Suddenly, so far as you know, some demonstrators turned up to demonstrate against them. Do you know why?
They didn't make that very clear to us, the demonstrators, didn't they? Insisted on seeing the Conservative MPs who we had in the police station at the time.
Eyes away. As soon as I asked the question, junk, what would you do if you had somebody in a cell and you were asking them questions?
Suddenly, as far as you know,
You wouldn't believe them, would you?
Again, sly, devious, trying to trick me.
By all means, we shall come into King's Cross Police Station.
In the entire process of this investigation, I have not seen as many police officers asking a pimp to come to the police station as what we've got here now. Not 3 cars. No way. I think that we're getting a big ass and Megan. I don't want to go to the police station unless you're ordering me to. Well, if you're ordering to me, you're going to
get to the station where I will.
You're going to have to make up your own mind as to what you think happens at that station.
And that's really the nasty trick. That's the one where, you know, the person looks to the camera, and it's been known on some of our channels where the interview's over and somebody turns and lays the egg. And there's nothing you can do about it, I'm afraid, and that's one of the problems of television. You aren't in as much control as you are in some other media, so beware.
Switch that thing off for me now, and we'll go to the police station properly, so that we don't have any further
Are you
aggravation.
saying we're under arrest now?
Yes, yes.
Or are you just asking us to vacate these premises?
people in a place like this. There's so many of us. There's 24 stories. You only know a few.